Hey friends and family, after getting more popular vote than any other dementia patient in US history, Joe Biden's certainly become very well known for being a great president. Oh, took a little something out of my soul just saying that. And he's also known for obviously being super honest in ways that aren't accurate relative to reality. So accordingly, let's take a look at President Brandon's top 10 biggest lies so far. And at the end of this video, I'll share why it's okay that he lies and how none of it's his fault. Biden said that January 6 rioters killed 2 police officers. He made this claim while he was giving a speech, aka trying to read off a teleprompter, at his alma mater, the University of Delaware, where he looked no less than 190 years old, as you can see here. Now that's at least an improved lie from a speech he gave in Wisconsin, where he implied that rioters killed 5 police officers. Now the reality is that the rioters, many of whom were peacefully led into the Capitol building by security guards, didn't kill anyone. Even though the media tried to frame it differently, one Capitol police officer died on January 7th after a medical examiner determined that he died from 2 strokes. And a Metropolitan police officer and a Capitol police officer both killed themselves following January 6th. And we're still awaiting word to see if their suicides were caused by themselves or the Clintons. So that leaves 0 as the exact number of police officers that rioters killed on January 6th at the Capitol. However, we can confirm that the number of protesters who have been illegally imprisoned as political prisoners following January 6th is much higher than 0. Number 2, withdrawing from Afghanistan while claiming a Taliban takeover is unlikely, and then the Taliban takes over immediately. Watch.
Back in July, you said a Taliban takeover was highly unlikely. Was the intelligence wrong, or did you downplay it?
There was no consensus. You go back and look at the intelligence reports.
And once the Taliban took over, shockingly, Biden claimed that military advisors didn't warn him against withdrawing troops from Afghanistan. However, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Mark Milley, head of U.S. Central Command, General Kenneth McKenzie, and Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin, which I guess being top military advisors would qualify them as military advisors, all testified before the Senate that they recommended maintaining a presence of U.S. troops in Afghanistan and that their input was received by Biden. But then Biden made 2 wrongs a right with a 3rd wrong when he said, if there's Americans left, we're gonna stay to get them all out. And well, if by leave no man behind you mean leave men behind, then yeah, he's honest. And I guess in this Afghanistan piece is Biden's second biggest lie. There were actually 3 lies within this one lie, but they all left people dead. But I think there was a real good chance that Biden was identifying as telling the truth when he was lying about Afghanistan. So unless you're a biologist, you better just shut up unless you want to be censored. Number 3. Biden claims there was no when he took office. Hi, I was born in 1981 and I attended Woodstock in 1969. Bro, that math doesn't add up. Yeah, that's because math is racist. In spite of the world passionately not caring, Biden made sure the world knew he was vaccinated on December 21st, 2020. Biden then took office on January 20th, 2021. I'm not totally sure, is 2020 before or after 2021? Like, I don't know, but Biden sure seems honest. But luckily, Biden's never told any other lies about the but number 4, Biden says he won't make vaccines mandatory. And then he makes a good old-fashioned vaccine mandate. But who cares if he lied about this? All that's at stake are your freedoms, liberties, and the US Constitution. Not really a big deal if you're ushering in a communist agenda. So let's move on. Now it's time for a little nostalgia as we throw it back to Biden in the 1980s as he's practicing his stellar political honesty as he lied about going to college on a full ride, graduating with 3 degrees on the top half of his class, and being the top political science student.
I went to law school on a full academic scholarship, the only one in my class to have a full academic scholarship. Went back to law school and in fact ended up in the top half of my class. I was the outstanding student in the political science department at the end of my year. I graduated with 3 degrees from undergraduate school and 165 credits, only needed 123 credits.
Biden now concedes he did not graduate in the top half of his law school class, that he does not have 3 degrees from college, and that he was not named outstanding political science student in college.
Newsweek says Biden actually went to school on a half scholarship, ended up near the bottom of his class, and won only 1 degree, not 3.
Whoa, that's exciting. But truth isn't a part of Marxism. So it's like he was being true to Marxism when he lied. And I like that honesty. Number 6. Biden claims he was arrested as a teenager for standing up for civil rights. Yeah, and I used to be Superman, Joe, but I quit saving people from burning buildings because, like you, I decided to burn down the country instead. Spoiler alert! Biden was never arrested for standing up for civil rights. Even his arms of censorship couldn't cover up this obvious lie, as PolitiFact rated Biden's claim as false, and the Washington Post gave it 4 Pinocchios. But I'm sure standing up for civil rights would have prepared Biden really well for passing the crime bill in 1994 and for giving the eulogy at the funeral of a KKK leader, while present day treating the civil rights philosophy of Martin Luther King Jr. of judge a person based on the content of their character, not the color of their skin, like toilet paper. Next slide, please. Biden said his Build Back Better agenda would cost $0 and add $0 to the national debt. I mean, that seems likely. Wouldn't some kind of charitable organization be implementing this kind of thing? But according to the Congressional Budget Office, if Biden got everything he wanted in his Build Back Better agenda, it would cost over $3 trillion. Maybe he meant like the cost would be $0, but the price would be $3.5 trillion. Because though cost and price have the same meaning, they have very different spellings. Number 8. Biden denies that Antifa exists. He made the claim while looking like a deer caught in the headlights during a debate with President Trump. Watch.
Antifa is an idea, not an organization.
Antifa is an idea, not an organization. I mean, I think that's true. And for an organization that doesn't exist, here's a look at one of their websites. rosecityantifa.org. Oh, and the .org stands for organization, which helps further prove that Biden's right when he says Antifa is not an organization. Number 9. Biden says he's creating jobs. Well, according to the New York Post, while Trump was in office, there were a total of 152.5 million non-farm employees. Then the pandemic hit, and that number went down to 130.5 million. That's because many businesses were banned from operating for a prolonged period, which Biden seemed oddly stoked about. And now, as businesses are open back up, there's a total of 150.9 million non-farm employees, which is still short of the number from when Trump was in office. But Biden is saying this is from him creating jobs. So the lesson we can learn here is the best way to create jobs is to tyrannically ban people from working and then eventually let them work again and call that job creation. It's kind of like the best way to feed hungry people is to take away people's food and then once they're starving, give them some of their food back. Which Biden's kind of also in the process of doing that. Number 10, he calls the Hunter Biden laptop Russian disinformation. Now this little lie I'm sure was innocent, and I'm also positive it had no influence over the presidential election. So while it's now been proven that the Hunter Biden laptop is real, I'm sure that any incriminating photos or emails linking Biden to illegal activity in Ukraine and China are still just like nothing but disinformation put there by the magical disinformation fairy. So you might want to just forget about the Hunter Biden laptop unless you want to experience the Clinton body count going up by 1 more. And those are Biden's 10 biggest lies so far. It was really hard to whittle the list down to just 10, and I mean that in the best way possible. But of course, all of Biden's lies are okay and aren't really his fault. Why is that? Because when you look at the symptoms of the medical condition called dementia, you'll see that along with problems communicating, memory loss and changes in short-term memory are prime symptoms. Not that Biden has any symptoms of dementia, but out of all the ones he does have, we can compassionately understand that when he's not telling the truth, he's not lying. He's just experiencing memory loss and changes in his short-term memory. And at times hallucinations, which is also a symptom. And he communicates those with diminished speech skills, also a symptom, while at times also experiencing the additional symptom of disorientation. So it's not his fault and we can trust him. Let's go, Brandon, because remember, He once said that too.
Let's go, Brandon. I agree.
That's one thing I agree with you about, Joe. Real quick, my friend, our connection is what matters most to me. So to ensure we stay connected in the face of growing censorship, I'd love to have you join my email newsletter list and become an Awaken Warrior. You can sign up at awakenwithjp.com/join me, and I'll see you on the inside. Hey, real quick, I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, Primal Life Organics, and their LED light teeth whitening system. I love it because it's natural and it works. And it's so natural, it grows out in nature. If you put it in the tree first, it's very primal. Trees are a social construct, but you know what isn't? White teeth. But up until now, if you wanted whiter teeth, you either have a choice, I don't whiten my teeth, or I do, but I use chemical-based systems that contain harmful peroxides which damage your teeth and can damage your health. But Primal Life Organics says, I think you deserve a better choice. Just watch. I think you deserve a better choice. I don't like putting harmful chemicals in my body, but I want beautiful white teeth. That's why I love Primal Life Organics. Instead of using Agent Orange or Kryptonite or whatever the other people use, Primal Life Organics uses an LED light mouthpiece to whiten your teeth and a food-grade tooth whitening gel. The blue light whitens your teeth. The red light reduces inflammation and soothes gums. And you can do both at the same time. I use mine just 16 minutes a day, 3 days a week, and it leaves me with a beautiful smile and red hair. Red hair not included. If you want to have a beautiful white smile and not be an idiot putting harmful chemicals in your body, then you can get your Primal Life Organics teeth whitening kit at naturalteethwhiteners.com/JP. And at that link, you get a full 60% off the entire kit. Enjoy.